Parking on campus is frustrating at times, especially with tickets and such, and Ball State, I think, tends to overcharge with the tickets, and the times that you can park on campus are really frustrating. I wish on weekends that instead of 5 o'clock, I believe it is, you could maybe start parking on campus at 3 or 2, and when people are visiting, that would make it more convenient for them to come up, stuff like that.
This isn't very good with my experience here at Ball State. I've gotten probably 2 or 3 tickets since I've been here, and it's just for parking at a meter for 5 minutes and running in and then coming out and not putting change in it because it's a quarter for 20 minutes. I don't need 20 minutes. I just need 5 minutes to run in and run back out. They're not very reasonable. They don't give you the benefit of the doubt. They are just very strict and high priced. I mean, I have to pay $90 to park somewhere where it takes me 25 minutes, half an hour to get there. I transferred here, and at my other school, you walk in, you get a parking pass, you get a free you get free parking anywhere on campus, and you get 3 tickets that get resolved, and you don't really have the opportunity to get tickets at other colleges as much as you do here.
I think that parking at Ball State should have more spaces because it's difficult to find a parking spot. And to change that, I think that we should somehow figure out a way to create more parking spaces.
I think it's a really nice setup, and I think there should be a little more green lots closer to the buildings. I know that's the way it's set up, but I just feel like there should be more green lots closer to the library, at least.
I parked it in the garage, paid for a daily pass, and apparently you can't park overnight, but they don't tell you this. So I got 3 tickets, resulting in $130 my first night with the car, so that was fun. Yesterday I parked in front of Stu West past 7, but apparently you can't park past 7 on a Sunday, and then you get fun little tickets. The biggest thing we need to improve on is we probably need to figure out temporary parking without getting some ridiculous pass, and temporary overnight parking. Because when parents and friends come over, you can't always just have them park where it's convenient. Oftentimes you'll get a ticket or you'll get writ up, and we just need to figure out something better. Ivy Tech, IPFW, all the other major campuses have free parking and they provide for their students. But Ball State wants to make us pay more money, more than the $23,000 a year, just so they can feel better about themselves and steal 30 to 50 bucks at a time.
From my perspective, I've been here 16.5 years, and I've also been to several other universities. And the parking situation out here on Ball State University is really not that bad. There are different levels. You can get the restricted parking, the yellow general parking, and the green commuter, along with student parking. There are plenty of areas. They may not be the most convenient, but if you put more parking in the most convenient areas, what do you have to take away in terms of the academic buildings to make that fit? And then you also have to deal with traffic flow and students and that type of thing. So honestly, it's much easier the way they have the parking lot set up with the Ball State buses working through them. So it tends to lead towards a much more freer, easier flow of people on campus.
Okay, so you asked me how I feel about Ball State parking. I'm pretty satisfied with it as a faculty member. When I was going to graduate school and working at other universities, they had, I guess, the regular parking permits, but all we had access to were really not so much parking permits as sort of parking hunting licenses, so that, you know, there was no sort of reserved areas or anything that we could pay for. And so I'd get the, you know, I'd have to, you know, make sure that I got to campus really early, or else I'd spend a lot of time, you know, looking for a parking spot. And so, you know, here at Ball State, I would have that option if I was really cost conscious. As it turns out, I can, you know, I can pay more and get a somewhat reserved spot in one of the parking garages, and that has a number of advantages. One, you know, even if I've got errands to run, or if I, you know, teach the night before and I come to class later in the morning, I don't have any problem finding a parking spot. There's always a spot in the garage that I've got my permit for. It also, you know, wintertime weather, and I teach at night. It's kind of nice to be able to park underneath a shelter, so that when I come out of teaching class at 9 o'clock, I don't have to clear a bunch of snow off my windshield or anything. So I'm pretty pleased with it. I mean, I guess we would always like to have parking that was closer to the building where we work and for a lower price, but I think the parking's reasonably priced for the value that we get here.
So yeah, I'm using parking at BSU. I'm a staff member here, and I'm parking in a yellow parking lot. I don't mind walking. I have to walk to the building here a couple, I don't know, minutes, maybe 10 minutes or whatever, but that's fine with me. I don't have any issues with the parking. I don't have any problems with the parking. Sure, it would be nicer to park closer, but I understand there's certain limitations to it. So yeah, no issues and no problem on my end to park in a yellow parking lot and walk a little bit to work, to my office.